What is up, guys? Jumping back yet another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys on how to build my auto sorter. This is an advanced version or an updated version of my previous one. So there's a couple things with this. We have a auto furnace system here, an auto crafter, as well as TC upkeep. I'll show you on how each of these work, and then I'll come over here and I'll build it up for you. So first things first, with the furnace system here, this is a small modification of the one by extreme speed. So basically the way this works is you have your ore box, and anything that you put in here is going to get taken out, and it's going to go into this splitter here as well as this one here. The top one, this is going to be for wood, so make sure you have the wood with no filters. The second one, this is going to be for all of your ores, so we can go ahead and add all of them, as well as your crude oil, and then set the mass to 11, 22, 6, and 4, just like that. This one, we're going to add all the ore as well as the crude oil, but this time we are not going to add any of the values. And last but not least, we will add wood and set the maximum to 12. Just like that. Basically, the way this works is it's going to check to make sure there's wood, and it's going to check to make sure there's ore in this box. If there's wood but no ore, it's not going to go in the furnace. If there's ore and no wood, it's still not going to go in the furnace. Same thing with the crude oil. If there's crude oil but there's no wood, it's not going to go in. If there's wood and no crude oil, it's still not going to go in. It has to have all of the items in order for the stuff to go into the furnace, as well as for the oil refinery. Now, if you have ore and wood in there, it'll smell just the ore. You don't have to worry about the crude oil. So that's basically how that works. And then it just taken out and into the furnaces or the refinery, out into this conveyor, back into this box. Now I can show you guys on how this works here. What we're gonna do, I'll just get it like 3,000 wood, load in here. Let's just say, yeah, a couple, oops, not two. We'll grab 2,000 sulfur. Let's just grab 3,000 sulfur, and we'll get 100 crude oil here. Put this in the box. As you can see, nothing got taken out yet. Now it's getting taken out. All these turn on. That means that everything is checked. Once it gets put in here, it will turn on. As you can see, it's turned on, and this gets activated for 0.5 seconds, and that's how these get ignited. Now, if you guys really want to, you guys can do this with the generator. The only reason I do it with a timer here is so you don't have to use low grade, so that's why I do the timer trick here. Like I said, you guys can do the way with small generator and stuff like that, so it's totally up to you. Now, this entire system here uses between 7 to however much large furnace to have. So this system that I have here only uses 8 power, and the reason that I say it depends is because the more of these igniters that you have, the more power that you're going to need. So this is 8. If you add another one of these, that's going to be 9. Another one would be 10, and so on and so forth. So the amount of power that this requires is going to depend on how many igniters you have for your furnaces. If you have your furnaces close together like this, you can get away with just having one. If your furnaces are farther apart, like some decent sized bases out there for your furnace wall, then you're going to have one of these per furnace. So that's why it is going to vary. As you can see, all the stuff's getting taken out here. So that is basically how you do your furnace system. This right here is the Auto Crafter by Hyperion. One thing I do want to point out is this isn't exactly how you build it according to this video. I'll have a link to that in the description. I just have this set up for making meds, pistol ammo, and 5.56. You guys can customize this to craft whatever you want. This is the simplest way that I found out works for me and my team, so that's why I'm just going to show you guys how to build like this. Like I said, you guys can have this craft basically anything you want. has an automatic BP swapper and all that good stuff. I'm not going to get into the full details and how everything works there. I'm not too familiar with that kind of stuff, so like I said, I'll have the link to his video down in the description as well as the rotation diagrams, so if you guys want to follow that, because it is updated on there, not in this video. So first things first, this right here would be your resources inside of your base. Everything's going to get taken out, go through here. Obviously it's all going to combine. You're not going to have just one box with all your stuff in there. And then it's going to come into this right here, and this conveyor is going to check to make sure that all the stuff that you have is going to have a max value, and this is going to be set to 2 times the amount that it takes you to craft said item. So like I said, I'm going to have pistol ammo, 5.56 meds, so that's 2 times the amount there. It's going to come into this box here. This is where it's going to store all the items. So this will probably be a small box underneath your tier 3. Actually, first it comes from here into this combiner and then into the box. Out of the box into the splitter here. And it's going to check over here. Make sure that it actually has all the stuff in there. This is going to be set to 1 times the amount that it takes to craft the item minus 1 with the require all set. And then it's going to get split over there into here, and it's going to go into these here. These are the ones set for the actual BP as well as the item to take to craft. Now when you guys do this, make sure your BP is in the first slot, otherwise this will not work. So even Hyperion said that in his video, make sure this is in the first slot as well as the items are behind that. So that's how that works. Same thing for the 5.56 as well as the pistol ammo here. Now these are the actual items that it takes to craft. Or the item that you want crafted, sorry. And then the minimum value can be whatever you want it to be. But keep in mind, if you have it set to 1, then it's going to craft 2 of the items, not just 1. And if you want it to craft just 1, then don't have a minimum value there. So let's look how that works. Then obviously all the items that go through here get combined in here into the splitter, and then it goes into the crafter. And then this blue line here, this is for your BPs. All your BPs go in, your BPs come out, and it goes circle all the way back over here into this combiner, back into this box here, as you can see. And then all the items that they crafted will come over and go into this box here. This is the box that actually checks to make sure that all the stuff is actually crafted. And as you can see, it comes back over here, and then it checks all these here. So that's basically that entire line there. This right here, it pulses this circuit for 10 seconds, as you can see. Well, technically it would be, but I have it connected over here. So if I fix this real quick, it will actually work correctly. Let me unpower this. So make sure you have a solar panel over here. Now you don't have to have the solar panel, obviously. I would just recommend it, then you won't have this problem that I have here. There, just wire it up real quick. Sorry about that. Here, get that. And it pulses this for 10 seconds, meaning, let's say I turn this off, right? It's turned off. I'll stand back so you guys can see that I physically can't turn that back on. If we wait a couple seconds, it turned itself back on. So even if your teammates turn this off, it will automatically turn itself back on and craft the items that it needs right there. So as you can see, I'll take these items out here. We'll step back and it'll automatically craft the items that it needs. As you can see, it's detecting that it doesn't have the item. So this gets triggered. It's going to start putting all the stuff into here. As you can see, the blue can turn on and it's crafting that item right now. And then once it's done crafting, there it is. The 5.56 is done. It's going to switch over to the meds or the pistol ammo, whatever one it goes next to, which should be the pistol ammo. It might just take the med though, but we'll see here in a second here. Yep, it's making the med. So the way this works, it goes from the med to the pistol ammo to the 5.56 back to the med. So as you can see, it's making the med right there. Crafting another one. And then once that's done, it'll obviously make the pistol ammo. Once everything is done crafting, then this will just keep cycling through. Just to double check that it's got everything crafted, but it won't actually craft the item until you actually take the stuff out of this box. And I can show you that in just a second once this pistol ammo gets done. Alright, pistol ammo should be getting crafted. Yep, there it is. And as you can see, it's going to be crafting the last of that right there. Just like that. And as you can see, it's just going to be cycling through. See? And it's not crafting the items because the item is already done. The only reason that this is blue is because that means that you need BP in there. So that's why it's like that. But as you can see, everything's crafted and it's not crafting any more items. Once you take the items out of this box, then it'll let you craft some more stuff. That is the auto crafter itself. Last but not least, we have the TC upkeep as well as your external TC upkeep as well. So the way that this works, we'll come on in here. We have the different boxes here. This will represent like stone, your metal, and high quality, and your wood. Obviously, you're gonna have all these run into a combiner, from the combiner into a splitter. And the reason you have this into a splitter is going to determine how many of your external TCs are different. So if you have, let's say, 3 external TCs have the same upkeep and the other 3 are different, obviously you would have one conveyor here for 3 and one here for the other 3, and then you'd obviously have one for your main TC. So this one here is for the main TC in here. This is for all 4 of the external TCs. And the way that this would work is we would come down here. As you can see, this is 735 metal frames upkeep of that. So we'll type that in here. So for the minimum, put 735. Click apply. For these, it's 606, because I just looked at it before I started recording. Click apply. As you can see, I don't have any power. So we'll just go ahead and we'll just wire this up real quick. Just like this. And then if you have the resources in there, then obviously whenever it starts going down on upkeep, it's actually going to pull the items from these boxes and automatically upkeep your base for you. So that's each individual circuit there. So like I said, furnace system, auto crafter, as well as your TC upkeep here. So without further ado, let's get into how to build this, shall we? Alright. First things first, I'm just going to point out, don't mind the fact that all this wiring stuff and these conveyors and stuff are all turned on. And they look like they're powered. They're technically not. I had all this done and ready for recording. But, of course, Force Wipe came and Builder Sanctuary updated and I lost all my progress. So, that's just a bug. They're not actually powered. So, without further ado, let's get into how to build it. This test generator is going to represent a windmill. I was just too lazy to actually place one and all that good stuff. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go from here into your battery. And we'll come back to this in just a moment. What we need to do next, though, is we need to go from the drop box here. Come up and go into this splitter here. This splitter is going to be for the super sucker. Obviously this is optional. If you guys don't want to have this, then just go from this drop box here into this conveyor here, and I'm sorry, not the conveyor, into this splitter, and this is going to be the splitter tree for the item that you actually want to be split. Now the reason that I would recommend you have this super sucker is because it moves the items basically let's say you had 20 of these. It will move it that many times faster, all of the drop boxes, into your buffer box. So if you have 9 of these, it's going to move the items 9 times faster, all of your drop boxes, into your buffer boxes. Now obviously, the amount of loot that you have is going to vary on how many of these buffer boxes you have. Personally, I find 6 to 8 buffer boxes work just fine. Obviously you can have 4 if you really want. Basically the only thing the buffer box is really going to do is it's just going to store the item there until it actually goes into the actual said box that you have the item sorted into. So if you have, let's say you have everything sorted in your conveyors that you want, but you don't have high gear or burlap and stuff like that, those items are just going to stay in the buffer box. So that's all that's going to do. So that's why I'll probably have between 4 to 8 buffer boxes. So, but yeah, without further ado, and me explaining that, we're gonna go from this splitter here into these here, from these ones into the conveyors. I'll go ahead and pipe these up real quick. Obviously, I'm not gonna pipe these up anything crazy. Also, if this video is a little bit longer than usual, I greatly apologize. I just want to show you guys how you fully build this here. So, and then we're gonna take these and put these into these commanders here. Obviously, this would be a little bit easier if I didn't have everything right next to each other, but that is alright. Right. But then once we have those, we're gonna combine all of these. Just like that. And we're going to go out of this last one here into this one. And the reason we need this, rather than going straight from this one straight into the buffer box, is because we're also going to have the furnace loot coming into here as well. So that's why we need to have this combiner here. So from this combiner, we're going to go into the buffer boxes just like this. And then from these buffer boxes, I'll just run this up and we'll put it into here. From here, we can just pipe all these together like this. Now, the amount of these conveyors and splitters is going to determine how many items you actually have sorted. So for me, I have all of the armor, which is going to be a full gear set like this, with gloves, and as well you can have the backpack. Ammo is obviously going to be like 5.56, pistol ammo, all that good stuff. All your guns, meds, it's obviously just meds. And this other meds one, this will be for your low grade cloth and leather. And then clothing, I would have this be for hazmat and diving gear. I mean, if you want to keep your ponchos and your high gear and your burlap stuff, that's where this would go. You have your food, your scrap. I always have an extra scrap box. You don't have to have an extra scrap box. You can just put that inside your components if you really want. But we got a components box, electrical, tools, your ore, all of the charcoal, your wood, stone, your metal, and your high qual, all your sulfur, and then all your booms. So that'd be like your gunpowder, explosives, your rockets, C4, all that good stuff. And then this white box is here. I have these for, let's say you have extra doors or window braziers, ladders, Molotovs, extra high walls. That's what these white boxes would be. So anything that's not actually sorted into like the side categories like this, that you don't want to be stuck inside your buffer boxes, that's what I have this for. So that's why I have that there, just so you guys know. But like I said, once you have that all determined, we're gonna go ahead and pipe these into all these. I'm not gonna do that on camera. I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, once we have all those piped up, obviously you're gonna go ahead and daisy chain these all together. So from the pass through into the power in of the next one, so on and so forth until they're all wired together, and do the same thing for these ones over here. And then what we can do is we can go from the battery into a branch here. Now I have this set to 9 power because that's how many conveyors that I have here. And then we can go from the branch out into the first one here and turn those all on, obviously. And then from the power out, we're going to come over to the next one. And this is going to be set to the amount of conveyors that you have over here. So as you can see, I have, I believe it's 19, 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, I got 19. So this is going to be set to 20. The reason that this is set to 20 is because I have one over here as well. And this one is going to be for the wood. So it's going to take wood out of the wood, obviously. And it's going to put it into the ore box over here. So that's why there's an extra one there. And then obviously, since I have that one, we need to go from here, and we gotta actually wire this one up real quick. I forgot to do that, so let me just go ahead and do that. There we go. Once that is done, obviously we'd take all of these conveyors and actually pipe them into all these boxes that you have labeled for whatever items that you want to be sorted. I'm not going to do that. That would obviously take way too long for the video. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to have this one for the ores, because this is one that kind of needs to be shown on video. So for the ore one, obviously we're going to have all the ores just like this, as well as the crude oil. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add wood with a maximum value of 1,000, right? So what this does is anytime any wood comes through the drop boxes into the buffer boxes, it's automatically going to put 1,000 wood into this ore box as well as this ore box. So let's say you have 7 ore boxes, it's going to have 1,000 wood in each one of those, right? So it'd be 7,000 wood altogether. That way it will never run out of wood for your furnaces, right? So what you need to do is from this conveyor, that whatever conveyor you have for your ore, we're going to take this, run it all the way down over here into this combiner. And this has to be a combiner. You can't put it straight into the box. This will not work, right? So from the combiner, put it into the ore, right? And then from your wood, it needs to come down and it needs to go into this splitter here. The reason that we have the splitter is for the TC upkeep. We'll get to that in just a moment. For now, we'll take one of the outputs and put it into this conveyor here. And then from this conveyor, we can run it over here into this combiner again, right? So just like that. Also, since we have these, make sure we actually power these up. I kind of forgot to do that. Right, so there's all that. Now, what we need to do is we need to hook up the actual ore box to the furnaces, as well as the oil refinery. I don't know why that's bugged out again. Let me just turn that off and take it out of there. Just like that. Alright, so obviously what we need to do is take the power out of this, run it down over here and into this branch here. Like I said earlier, the amount of branch out is going to vary on how many actual igniters you have. So technically this entire system just requires 6, and then for every one of these igniters you just add 1 power. So like I said, this requires 6. I got 1 there and 1 over there, so that is 8. So what we need to do is go from the branch out into here, and then again we just need to chain these bad boys together just like this. From the pass through, we need to come down into the power in. Make sure you take it from the power out. Alright, that's very important. Obviously there's a different one, so there's a pass through, sorry, not the power out, but the pass through needs to come into the power in on this timer. Again, set this timer to 0.5 seconds. That's very important. The longer you have this, the greater chance that these igniters will stay on and then eventually break themselves, right? So I found that 0.5 works the best. From the power out, we need to run this over into the power in of the splitter. And then obviously from the splitter into our igniters, just like this. I'm not gonna have these wires be anything super fancy or anything like that, so alright, just like that. Now, last but not least, we need to take the filter pass for the turn on, same thing for this bottom one, and then filter fail into the turn off, same thing here. Now, for this one, we take the toggle on and we turn this to the filter fail, right? Don't forget to hook that one up. I've done it a couple times and then I sat there wondering why my system didn't work. So make sure your filter fail is for the toggle on of the actual timer there. That is going to be all the power for this. Now what we need to do is actually pipe all this stuff together. So we're gonna come down over here from our ore box and run it over here. Also, sorry if my game keeps lagging. I don't know what the heck's going on with my computer today, but it's not having a good time. Right? So again, from the output of that, we're gonna run it into this splitter here. It doesn't matter which one of these go into these two, by the way. And then take this. That way it just can split it again. Hook them up into these two here. Now for these, obviously you would go ahead and set your filters. I'll go ahead and do that again so then you guys can see that again. So top one, wood, no filters at all. Second one is going to be for all your ore and your crude oil. So let me add those real quick. The max of them for metal is 11, sulfur is 22, high quality is 6, and crude oil is 4. And then we're going to add all the ore in the third one as well as the crude oil. But this time we are not going to add any value to any of these. So max, buffer, and minimum, do not type anything in there. And then last one we're going to add wood was the maximum of 12. Just like that. And then obviously 2 of these are automatically going to turn off. So the best way to remember this is if you do it in this order here, just like this. The second one as well as the fourth one are going to be the ones that go into these. So basically the ones that have the value are going to be the ones that go into this combiner here. From the combiner, we're going to come down and obviously we're going to run these into our furnaces. Then chain these all together into our oil refinery. From the oil refinery, we're going to come into this conveyor here. You guys don't have to type anything in here. The only reason that I like to type the stuff into here is that way I know it only takes the smelter stuff out of here. So that's the reason why I do this. Like I said, you guys don't have to do this. So let me just go ahead and type these all in here. Just like that. Make sure we turn this bad boy on. And then from the output of here, again, this is going to come over. And it's going to go into the combiner here. It goes into your buffer boxes, alright? Just like that. So far, what you should have done is your drop boxes going to be all daisy chained together. Again, if they don't reach, you just use the combiner, which is one of these, and you can extend the piping. So again, daisy chain all those together. That's going to come out into this splitter. These splitters go into your super sucker. This pulls the items 1 to however many conveyors you have times faster than it normally would. Again, the reason I would recommend having this is it just pulls the items out faster. So if you have your drop boxes inside the compound, it would just gonna take the stuff a little bit faster. I have no clue why that just turned off. What the heck? Okay. Well, that was random. Anyway, again, from these super sucker, it's all gonna get combined all down into this one here. Again, this has to be here, and then it goes into the buffer box, right? And then from your buffer boxes, depending on how many of those you have, again, I'd recommend between 4 to 8. It's gonna come out of the buffer boxes into your splitter tree. From the splitter tree into the set amount of conveyors that you have to actually sort all the items. Again, you can have more of these if you want. You can have less of these. Doesn't make a huge deal. Totally up to you guys. Alright. So that's how that works. And then for your auto smelter, again, make sure you set any one of those to your ores as well as the crude oil, 1000 wood, and then it's gonna take it out of there into your ore box. Out of your ore box, it's gonna come all the way back down into the splitter here, and then it's gonna split it again. Again, the top one gonna have your wood, no value. Second one gonna have all your ore as well as your crude oil, with the values shown on screen here. So that's 11 ore for metal, so 11 metal, 22 sulfur, 6 high qual, 4 crude oil. third one is going to be all your ore with no value. And the last one is going to be 12 wood. Right? Obviously, it's going to go into your furnaces, depending on how many loads you have, into your oil refineries. Obviously, you can have more oil refineries, more furnaces. You can have less, up to you. It's going to come out into this conveyor here. Out of this conveyor, it's going to go back into this combiner that goes back to your bucket boxes, and then the items will get sorted. Now, technically, this is your full auto sorted done with an auto crafter, right? Now, if you guys want to do this next part here for your TC upkeep, I will show you guys on how to do that. That's pretty self-explanatory. We can go ahead and do that now. So basically, we need to go and get the wood. So I already have the wood line here. And you take this all the way down here into here, as well as the stone. So the stone doesn't need one because this is just for the upkeep, and chances you're gonna use stone to craft anything is probably slim to none. So just like that, and then obviously your high qual and your metal needs to go into here because you're gonna use this. Well, at least I'm gonna use this to craft my meds and stuff like that. So one of those need to come down into here. So that's all the stuff that we need to upkeep the TC. Out of here into this conveyor again. Oops, I'm sorry, not into this conveyor. You need to go into this splitter, and then it's gonna go into these. So again, these are gonna be for your main TC, just like this. Let's say you have 3 external TC that are different than the other 3. You just take this and run it through the 3 that are the same, and then same thing here. Take these, run it through 3 of the same. Now, if all of your external TCs are the same, which is probably going to be super rare, the only time you're really going to have it, the other basic 4x4 like that is over there. We'll test it at the 2x2, but yeah. Anyway, if you have your TCs that are the same, obviously whatever ones are the same, you have those. And then for this, the main TC is 270. You're going to set that to the minimum. Obviously, if you have stone, high qual, and wood, whatever your says your TC upkeep is for that, you're going to put that for your minimum value on the bottom there. Alright? Same thing for your external TCs. If you have stone, high qual, and wood, make sure you add those and the values that it takes for 24 hours. Right? So as you can see, 270 is for 24 hours, and I added 270 because that's how much it takes for 24 hours. So basically, that's how you're going to do all of your TC upkeep. Last but not least, we have the auto crafter. This is going to take a little bit more time to do, but I'll show you guys how to do this. So first things first, what we need to do is I'm going to pipe this out. I'm going to color code this. It makes it a little bit easier for myself, and then that way you guys see what I'm doing too here. So from here, so again, this is where all your resources are going to be coming from. It needs to go into here. Out of here, it's going to run over and into here. Actually, I lied, I did it wrong. I am sorry, that is not how that goes at all. So we'll do that again. So from here, it needs to run over and into here. I'm sorry about that. From here, it's going to go into here. And then we can run it into here, just like this. And I'll come back to this in just a moment. What we need to do though, is come all the way over here. So let's just say I have this one for all the stuff that takes to craft the meds. We're going to take this and we're going to pipe it all the way over into here. I'm not going to have the piping be anything crazy, otherwise it's not going to reach, obviously. So there's that. And then again, we need one to come out of here. So that's, we're going to need the metal. So metal. So already we have the cloth and low grade. We got the metal. And now we need the gunpowder. So we'll take that out of here. And we will run that into here. So that's all the items that I have for the system. Also, this doesn't need to be here, and neither does this. And then, like I said, we already have the rest of this piped up in here. It's gonna go out of here, over, and it's gonna go into here, just like this. Out of here, and into here. I'm gonna pipe this a little bit easier, or a little bit cleaner inside here, just so it's not a big old mess and you can't see what I'm doing. Right? And then these need to come over. Oops, a little bit light there. Into here. I'll wire these, or pipe these a little bit cleaner, not super crazy or anything. Just like that. So all these are gonna have one of the green ones, just like this, as well as this one, just like that, right? Now, what we need to do is I'm gonna switch this to yellow, take these, pipe them into here, over to here, and into here. Any one of these can come out and go into the actual input. Then the top one here, this is gonna be the items crafted. So that can come out into this box here. And I would recommend leaving this box here, or having a box for your item that you want crafted. You can have more of these boxes if you want, which, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but don't just have this go straight back into your buffer box. I mean, you could if you want. I just found that having this box here and keeping it like it is in Hyperion's video works the best. So, yeah, just do it like this. Right. Out of here, you need to go over here and into this one here. And we need to take these ones and pipe them into here. Just like that. Last but not least, we need to do the blueprint. So out of here, we need to run it back into here. So then it has to go back into the resource box here, right? Take this and put it into the out, and then from here, put it into the blueprint then. That's going to be all the piping for this part. What we need to do now is actually go ahead and actually wire all this up. So, where is it here, right? Yeah. So from here, we need to go ahead and run this over to here first. Again, I forgot to wire all these up, so make sure we wire these up. And I would recommend that you put the auto crafter as the last circuit in your line, otherwise you're probably gonna have issues with the amount of power that this needs. So, right, we can just go ahead and power that up. Let me just turn the switch off for now, and then from the switch, we're gonna go ahead to the power in, power out to the power in. Make sure this is set to 1, and this one is gonna be set to 4. All right. And then the one that is set to 1, we need to run this over to here. Right? Just like that. The one that's set to 4, we're going to power into here. So the one that has the green line, from there, we need to come over and into the blueprint. From the blueprint, it needs to go into the item crafted. Right? Just like that. Now, make sure we do this part here. So the filter pass to the turn on, and then the filter pass of the bottom one is going to go into the turn off of itself. So just like that. And then last but not least, this pass through needs to go to the power in of the auto crafter itself. Just like that. Next, we need to come back over here, go from the power out of the branches set to 4, and we need to run this all the way over into this blocker here, and then the power out into the power in of the memory cells here, just like this. Let me wire these together, just like that. Now, we need to take the inverted output of each of these into the power in of the left side of the conveyors here. So just like this. Right. Now this part's gonna be a little bit confusing, so make sure you follow along. The top inverted output, the top output for the memory cell need to come down into the reset of the bottom one. Just like that. Alright. Again, a full diagram of how you hook this up and wire it up is going to be done in the description, so if you guys get confused. And then the pass through the bottom one needs to go to reset, and then from the second one it needs to go to the top one, and then this pass through on this top one doesn't go to anything. Alright. Obviously if you have more of these, then you obviously just make more of these, so. But yeah, the top one doesn't go to anything. Let's leave that blank for now. We'll come back to that in a moment. Well, we won't come back to that at all, but. And then we need to take the filter path into the set. Just like this. Right next to the one right next to it. Just like so. And we need to take the filter fail to the power in. Just like this. What the heck did I just do? Oh, that's not the right one. Filter failed. Just like that, so make sure those are all good. So it should be power in on all three of them. Yep, just like that. That is the majority of the circuit done. What we need to do though is I need to grab a solar panel. And I'll switch that color in just a moment, just to make this a little bit easier. So from the solar panel, it's going to go into a small battery. Right? From the output, we go into the input of this electrical branch that's set to 14. And then from the output, we need to go into the timer, just like this. There we go. And then from this timer, we need to go to this electrical branch here. This one is to be set to 1, just like so. And then the output of this is going to go into this blocker. The blocker here is going to go to the toggle on, just like that. And then the branch out, yep, is going to go into the pass-through. Whoops. Sorry about that. I did not mean to fly through there. And then the branch out is going to go into here. Power out, and power out are going to go into these. And then basically what we need to do is we need to take these and wire them into the toggle on of these 6 here and this one here. Not this one. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. So these 6 here and this one. Right, not the one where the items come into the box. Right, so again, I said that wrong. So for this simpler explanation, so obviously this isn't wired because the server crashed. So maybe these two, these two, these two, this one, this top one, and the power in of this, or the turn on. Sorry. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. I'm not gonna wire this up and be anything crazy. And make sure these are on turn on. That is very important. So turn on, turn on, turn on, turn on. Turn on, and then the turn on, right? Just like that. Again, if that's a little confusing for you guys to follow, like I said earlier, I'll have the retribution linked for this so you guys can see on how to wire all this up. But that is going to be the full auto sorter, as well as the auto furnace system, the TC upkeep, as well as the auto crafter. So again, if you guys did like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been having some back problems and I've been going to the doctor for that, so haven't had much time to play. But also I did drop a new base video yesterday, so make sure you guys do check that out. I should have another video coming out very soon on the larger team group. But without further ado, guys, if you guys did enjoy this, like I said, leave a thumbs up on the video, comment down below. If you guys want to see anything else, what you guys want to see, make sure you guys join my Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one.